Now, if you remember a few weeks back when I did how to process logs video, this is a pear bowl that I've turned in that video. Should be really nice grain and everything, and it's still wet, and there is nothing wrong with it in terms of cracks or anything like that, but I just want to turn one relatively ultra thin, and we're going to dry it out in a microwave. For the moment it elongated roughly 5 mil. That's a little less than 3/4 of an inch, so it's a narrower across the grain versus a long grain here. So first what I want to do, as always, is grab the tenon like so, and you can see how much it warps. So I'll move the camera and we're going to put a recess on the inside. So the ball is running at 1200 RPM. Ball gouge, just throw up the rim here first. A little bit more. Okay, that's good. And square and scraper, you can see when I hold it to the center, I'm slightly below center, so I want to raise the rest a little bit up. And let's see, for these jaws, step jaws that I have on the lathe around here should be okay. So just a little bit of a ridge. That should be all that it takes for somewhere to jaws to just grab and not slip. So just cut on top and hold it. Once you get close, you should be able to rattle a little bit like so, and now just expand the jaws lightly. And if you worry how hard of the hold this is, you can see that's really nice and tight hold. So first I need to throw up the bottom here. This is 1/2 inch diameter spindle gouge, my signature spindle gouge. Okay, that's good. So now the side. Okay. Okay, the surface is quite good. You can see that's really nice cut all the way to the top, but I do have slight bump here, and on purpose I went here through the tenon just so I get a little bit more of a uplift ball shape here, although now as I'm watching this I don't prefer that at all. So start over. Actually, I'll see if one of the chucks is correct size for this. Yeah, this one should be okay. Back with the spindle gouge. Okay, that's pretty good. refiner. Back with a spindle gouge. Okay, so I'm quite pleased with this detail. Maybe a little bit more round over here. That should be okay. Now smooth out this corner. Again with a refiner. Enjoy the process. So this is quite ideal moisture level. Now I can't tell you exact moisture level because my moisture meter is not that accurate, but it works beautifully and it's not spraying water everywhere, so that's quite important to note. The tenon here once more. And that will be good enough to grip. So that's all quite good. Quite happy with that. So quick sand on the outside. This is 180 grit. It does clog up a little bit, so it already dried out slightly in a few weeks. And you can see how it's making dust. Alright, so sanding is done and that's looking really lovely. So take it out. Now, to prevent these jaws to mark this tenon, because this is still wet timber, a little bit of a plastic sheet or anything like that will do the job. Hole gouge, 1/2 inch diameter, 12 mil. To lock the focus on the camera. So I'll stop here. I want to thin down the top part first, but before that, just round over the edge here. And this one here, a little shear cut here. So let's make a commitment, let's say. Again, not ultra thin, but around, let's see how thick that is. So that is around 3 mil, I would guess. 4 mil, so let's go 1 mil down. So make a cut. stop here, double check the wall thickness. You can see the surface as well. So I have a little burnish mark, but other than that, that's pristine surface. But it is slightly thicker halfway down here. So up to here it's okay. Here it's a little bit thicker. So, and from this point I will now shoot sort of a 10 mil below this very center. So find the bevel, just clean up a little residue. Find the cut. Stop here. Okay, that feels much better. Maybe one more cut. Okay, that's it. Nice ribbons of shavings. Now for the bottom portion, bowl scraper. This is 1 inch 25 mil wide, 3/8 or 10 mil thick. That feels has a quite good curve, a little lump in this area. Okay, that's much better. Just to show you the surface before sanding. So that's a really nice clean surface. So sanding with a drill now. Now you can see the moisture here as the bowl again is still wet. So now this goes in a microwave for maybe 2 minutes on high setting, and we'll see how it warps. And after 2 sessions of microwave for 2 minutes on highest setting, it didn't warp as much in terms of the overall shape. So it's still quite round, and you can see maybe a little bit of a crown on a horizon here on the rim, so just a little bit, but there is a lot of what I call a warpy sort of edge when you go through the surface, and you can feel all the small undulations because there is a lot of, you can see twisted grain here, all of the different patches and so on. So all of that has a nice texture to it, and this kind of odd mark here which looks kind of cool. I think it's from the slightly thicker foot here. So overall quite pleased with it, and a nice useful bowl. It's not as thin as to be fragile or anything like that, and it's a nice useful light bowl.